But I'm here to tell you as the prophet of God that the favor on your life is about to explode in every single direction. Throw it up in the air.
Greetings, y'all, and welcome to Seek Things Above TV. I'm your host, Luch Cooney. So today we're taking a look at John Gray preaching a sermon where he just completely abuses the concept of the favor of God. And so we're going to get into that in a moment. But before we do, if you like content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, and ring the bell for notifications so you get notified when we drop new content. But without further ado, y'all, let's check this out because there is a lot to get into here.
Now, I'm going to need y'all to go with me. We're going to move quick today. So the first thing I need you to do is find somebody that you want to speak to briefly. Just look at them, perhaps shake their hand, give them a fist bump, tell them I have something to say to you. You might not know this. You might not be able to tell, but I got favor on my life. Hey, Elder Brian, come here. Since you're sitting up talking while I'm over here preaching, find somebody else, because that person, they were kind of responsive, but I need you to put this in the YouTube chat feed and on the Facebook chat feed and in the app on the chat feed. And Miss Marilyn, make sure you put it in there to tell them to say this. Nice to meet you. You just shook the hand of somebody that has favor. Go ahead, shake somebody to tell them you just shook the hand of somebody that has favor. You didn't shake nobody's hand, so either you don't believe me or you don't know what you carry, because you got favor on your life, ma'am, a power you don't even know about. You didn't accidentally get here today. I don't know why you came today, but I'm telling you there's a favor on your life, and it has not manifested until today. There are people around you that don't even know what you carry, don't know what you dream, don't know what you think, don't know what you've been through. They think they know you, but they don't know you. Matter of fact, you don't even know you the way you're about to know you. But I'm here to tell you as the prophet of God that the favor on your life is about to explode in every single direction. If you are here today in this physical room or watching online, I have an announcement for you that your favor is about to explode in every single direction of your life.
So John Gray starts off by telling people to boastfully tell other folks that they have favor on their lives. You just shook the hand of somebody who has favor. Man. Then he goes on, identifies somebody in the crowd, looks like apparently some lady in the crowd, points at her and says to her, you have favor on your life, starts making these declarations about her life and the things that are about to explode and just go really great for her in her life, and then declares that he is a prophet of God, self-proclaimed prophet of God. So obviously, if you're not familiar with John Gray, by now you can figure out that he is a word of faith preacher, and obviously combined with a prosperity style of preaching, somebody who is an alumni of the school of Joel Osteen, the school of Hillsong, and basically the school of trash theology. And he has actually said in the past that he does not, he basically scorns being academic and studying theology. Like, he looks down upon that. Instead, he relies on this brand of preaching, which is one of revelation that he believes that he's receiving, and then he just goes on and starts to just say whatever is on his mind that he actually claims the Holy Spirit is telling him. So this is how he starts his sermon. And it gets worse as we go along. But this is the first dose that you get of John Gray in this instance. According to John Gray, everything is going to go well for everybody, every single person in that building, because that is what he has seen. There's also something that you can miss in this whole selling of the concept of favor and these guys being super blessed. It's always going to be from guys like this who are obviously showing you that they themselves are blessed and have this so-called favor upon their lives. And one of the ways they do that is they dress very expensive. Okay, they have very expensive outfits. And this was a shock to me when I found out that this hoodie right here, which is a Balenciaga hoodie, first of all, knowing the stuff that Balenciaga promotes, there's no reason why a person who is a Christian, particularly a pastor, should be wearing their brand, period. I don't understand the logic behind that. But then to go further and then to find out that this seemingly not so whatever hoodie is this price right here. Okay, let me make that a little larger so y'all can see that. That is $1,195 for that there hoodie. And so for those people who are into this stuff, they know that that's how much this stuff costs. He obviously has probably a lot of young people there. They're into these things. They know that Pastor rocked a $1,200 hoodie on Sunday, and he's telling us about all the favor that we are going to receive. And we believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a credible person to sell you this lie.
I have another aggressive announcement to make. Because there are some people who have been watching your life from a distance, hoping for something bad to happen so they can feel better about themselves. But I need you to go ahead and just say it out loud, just in case there's someone in the atmosphere that thought it was over for you. I just need you to say this out loud. Type it in the chat feed. My favor sustains me. Does anybody have a sustaining favor? Your favor keeps you propped up when life should have had you bowed down. Is there anybody that has a sustaining favor? You should have lost your mind. You lost a loved one. I don't know how you're here. We got a member of our worship team. His mother transitioned less than 48 hours ago, but yet he had his hands lifted during worship. You got to have a sustaining favor to keep you when your mama goes to be with Jesus. I love my mama, but I know she's in a better place. So therefore, in the midst of my pain, I will worship you.
So continuing with this theme of overflowing favor on people's lives, he tells people that they're going to have tremendous influence. And then he goes on to say, and this is where you start to see that this is truly cultural preaching. And it's not really rooted in scripture, let alone any text that he draws up today, that he draws from in this message. He says that people have enemies who are waiting on their downfall, so to speak, and that these people, basically, they don't know that the folks that they're hating on have this sustaining favor on their lives. Okay, they have this sustaining favor, and that the enemies can't do anything to them. Man, it's just so cultural. It sounds like a rap song. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a rap song where dudes just say, I got haters. Look, nobody even knows you. Nobody knows you or even cares about you for you to call yourself somebody who has haters, okay? For some reason, to talk about invisible enemies makes people feel more important. It makes them feel as though it's them against the world, and God is on their side, and then they can just do whatever. They're going to make it through anything. Nobody can stand in their way. And it's just such man-centered preaching. All of what he's doing here is just to make the audience feel more important about themselves. That's what this is. Make yourself a bigger deal than you are. That's what it is. And it's not to say that God doesn't see his people as precious. It's not to say that God doesn't look after his people. Of course he does. Of course he loves his people in a unique way, something that the world doesn't experience. His grace is so amazing that even his common grace covers those who are outside of his will and those who are not part of his family, those who are not part of the family of God, part of the church, part of the bride of Christ. His love is so great that it covers them also and even blesses them out of his own mercy. But that does not mean that you will never face any difficulties. And then the problem is that he actually, in the same sentence, he then talks about a member of his church who just lost his mom. And honestly, that is very sad that this church member experienced that and then is in church the next day. And it is always a beautiful testimony. And I will say there's a beautiful testimony when you see people of God go through something like that, and then the next day they are in service and worshiping and praising the Lord. That is a beautiful thing, and definitely condolences to that young man who is in the church and experiencing this. But the way whatever Pastor Grace says before doesn't line up with the fact that this man just experienced this tragedy. So he's conflating things, because grace and mercy are really the ways through which a lot of times God's favor is actually displayed. So you can't just say that simply, okay, this is God's favor, and discount and really wrongly use the term favor instead of using the term grace. And it's not just a matter of semantics, because these things mean different things. But that's what he's doing. He is conflating categories. Instead of describing something as the grace of God, sustaining grace, he's saying sustaining favor, when really the grace is the outworking of any favor that God is displaying on somebody's life.
Now I'm gonna need somebody to get extra aggressive and just look at somebody. You don't even have to look at them, just kind of elbow them, saying, you probably don't want to mess with me. God doesn't play about me. He put favor on me. I wouldn't mess with me if I were you. I've got favor. If I were you, I wouldn't mess with if I were you, I'd leave me alone. If I were you, I'm just giving you fair warning. Tell them, fair warning. There's a favor on my life. I didn't choose it. I did not ask for it, but I have it, which means God wanted me to have it. And if God put it on me, you can't take it off me. I'm gonna need some help over there in that worship team. Y'all looking real skimpy. Fist bump 7 people, tell them favor, 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 favor. I want you to type it in the chat feed, and I need you to type it 7 times, favor, F-A-V-O-R, favor. I need 7 of them. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, boom. Explode it, twist it, throw it up in the air. I need you to throw it up in the air, watch it explode. Matter of fact, I need you to start looking at your life in a 360 map. There's my family, there's my job, there's my future, there's my health, there's my children. I'm throwing my favor in every direction. I need somebody to get aggressive in here. This sermon won't take long, but it is going to change your life. I need you to go ahead and toss favor in the direction of everything with your name on it. My bank account has favor. I got favor on my job. My car engine has favor. My health has favor. I need somebody to just throw favor. Watch this. Now I need you to find 2 people to throw favor at. Just go ahead and throw some favor at a couple people.
Believe it or not, this goes on for a long time, where he just there's music playing, there's all this talk about favor this, favor that, favor this, and it's getting more and more playful and less reverent and less biblical as we go along. Okay, that's just what's happening here with this whole issue of this favor, because now people are being instructed to throw the favor around. Like, so you're the one now who has favor and you can pass it around to people. And maybe this is just one of those things that they do in church to, get people excited, but you shouldn't play with those things. You shouldn't play with that, because what are you telling people? What are you showing people? They're not the source of the favor. Nobody in that room is the source of favor. God is the source of favor. Now, there is also a sense in which God, because he is sovereign and has the right and the mandate to do whatever he wants to do, will bless people, and that is not even according to what they have deserved. I mean, we all get better than what we've deserved. Every single one of us, even the people who are being penalized for things, you are actually getting more blessing, more favor, so to speak, from God than you should be receiving. But his favor is not something that we should be flippantly playing with and just speaking about in a manner where this is just some sort of like almost like it's a toy. Like God's favor is just a toy. It's just something that we throw around now in church. Everybody's got it. Doesn't matter how you live your life. Doesn't matter even if people in there are believers. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. Simply just because you're in John Gray's church, you will receive favor because he has proclaimed that to you today. And so at the end of the day, man, this is just a massive abuse of the biblical concept of favor, of God's favor. And it is instead a manipulation of the text in order to make people feel good about themselves, to make them feel empowered. And sadly enough, you're hearing all this stuff, and it is not in a sense leading back to God. It is just all these things that you're getting from God. It is not, let's bow and worship him because he gives us better than what we deserve. That's not what you're hearing here. You're just simply hearing, oh, because I'm God's, I get all these things, and it's about what I do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. He's pointing to the people, you're this, you're this, you're that. There's not a moment where it's like, let's stop and just say, you know what? All of this is about God. If we're receiving any favor at all, it is just the goodness of God. We don't deserve anything. Be warned of teaching like this. Be warned of John Gray in particular. There are many reasons we can go into why this man should probably not even be in ministry at all. I mean, I could say like not be in ministry at all, but we're going to leave that aside for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And if then you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. All right? God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.